Hello, 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 everyone. I am so excited today to interview one of my past clients whose life completely changed. Completely. You can't wait
Yeah.
to hear the story. And I think it was 7 to 10 days after we started working together. So thank you so much, Carson, for joining me here and sharing a little bit about your journey that we've been through together. And yeah, I'm so excited. So tell me, where are you tuning in from?
Wow, that's interesting you asked that question because our session is a huge reason I'm here. But I'm from Calgary, but I'm tuning in from Playa del Carmen, Mexico. So yeah, I'm in Mexico right now. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't wait for you to hear a little bit about Carson's story. So,
Yeah.
Carson, I guess the first question, we kind of knew each other. We were connected online through Facebook. I did a consult with you with some personal training because you're, of course, the go-to mid midlife woman personal trainer, and I shared a little bit about what I did, and we connected. So, what made you decide to take that leap of faith and decide to book with me?
Phenomenal question. Um, well, let me give you a little bit of history about myself. So I'm 30 years old. I just turned 30 on May 1st this year. And I have gone through life with experiences that have impacted me in ways that have benefited me and definitely held me back. And in life, I think we all experience different levels of trauma and we react to it differently and respond to it differently and through all that sort of stuff. And when I was much younger, in my early 20s, I got involved in talk therapy. I saw a couple different professionals, like counselors, psychologists, and that sort of stuff to work through some of my issues. And the biggest thing that I found kind of really holding me back was I had done with my day-to-day stuff. Like I was not impacted. I didn't have any sort of trauma that was affecting me every single day or stopping me from getting anywhere. But I noticed that a lot of my issues were so deep in my subconscious that I didn't even know how to connect them. I didn't know how to relate to them. And I started to research a lot into successful people. Why are successful people seem to like just like perfect every single day and on point and this and that? And something that honestly enough kept popping up was hypnotherapy. And I was like, this is so intriguing. I want to know more. So I just did some research, figured out like hypnotherapy is kind of like talk therapy deals with your bothering you now, but hypnotherapy goes into issues that you might not even know that you have or things like that. And I remember back in my in-person personal training days, I had a client who he was a habit smoker and he went to hypnotherapy to stop smoking. And I was like, that's wild. Like I just never really understood hypnotherapy a lot. So yeah, just all the stuff Don you posted really caught my attention. And on my 30th birthday, I decided it was like this transition, like I was leaving my 20s, entering my 30s. What is my next step? Where am I going? What do I want out of life? And and I said, I feel like I've had a lot of very good personal development, but there's a lot of things limiting me that I personally didn't know how to like not deal with, but like overcome. And that's when I was like, these are buried so deep in my subconscious. I need a trained professional who's gonna take me there and help me get through it. And here we are.
Yeah, here we
Yeah.
are. Well, thank you for sharing that. So, I don't want to put you on the spot, so share anything you're comfortable sharing. So what would you be open to sharing anything at all about what was going on in your life that made you decide like what you wanted to work on, those deep things that you had no idea how to kind of overcome them yourself?
All right. Yeah. So um as I sit here talking to you guys from Mexico, 2.5 years ago, I set out on a mission to start a business, a complete online business, so that I could freely work from anywhere in the world, say Mexico. And I started that in October of 2019. No, October of 2018. Sorry, I had to think about that. October of 2018. And that was in the transition of I was leaving a major corporate gym as a personal trainer, going out on my own, starting my own business. And then when COVID hit, I realized it was the perfect opportunity to jump fully online. And yeah, I'm one of those people. COVID was a blessing for me, just strictly when it gave me the time to do what I really need to focus on. And through all of that, I noticed so many things started to arise that I just didn't know how to overcome. I had a large like feeling of fear, just being scared to do things, scared to take action, things that I'm pretty good at, that I do regularly, but I still created a ton of anxiety in my head about. And like, and would, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's everybody's written a social media post at one point, but it's like, if you're somebody running a business, if we think about Instagram, just for real quick, Instagram would be like photo, boom, share with your friends, and that's it. You're writing a business and you want to write content that is designed to attract, to bring people in, to educate, to learn. You have to go above and beyond a little bit than just a photo, is what I'm saying by that. And so with that, I was like, I was taking 2 to 3 to 4 hours to write a post because of
Wow.
anxiety that was bothering me. I was scared to message people, to network, because yeah, I'm in a very saturated market. So most of what I have to do is building relationships, but building those relationships with people. You know what people say? It's like going to the bar and picking someone up. How many people are, might be like, oh, they're attractive, they're attractive, they're attractive. Go talk to them. No, I can't do that, right? It's these fears we have inside of us. And I've noticed like so much of my behavior throughout my entire life was coming from a state of fear. And I hated that. I did not like that about myself. And that was actually like our first session that we worked on was fear. And it's funny because our session was a Tuesday, which I believe was May 3rd or 4th, whatever that Tuesday
Yes.
was.
Yes.
That following Sunday is when I booked my trip to Mexico. So yeah, because it was like, I knew I had the opportunity. I knew I could do it. I knew I could afford to do it, but it was like, what was I so scared of? What was I scared of leaving? And I mean, what today? Well, funny enough, today's July 19th. I've officially been here 2 months, and like every day has been a blast. Every day has been a joy, and I've never felt more at home and more at peace. But I was so scared to make that decision to come here. And now that I'm here, I'm like, why would I go back to Canada? Like I'm considering really building a life here now, or maybe in other places of the world, but still it's like that fear was really holding me back. And like I said, it was something so buried in all of my like natural reactions and things that I would do, and the way I would talk, the way I would speak, the way I felt about myself was such from a state of fear that again, I didn't even know how to go that layer deep to deal with something like that. So
Right.
through the sessions that we've had, it's been like I don't let fear really lead me anymore. I've always been, and if most of my friends would say I'm pretty much of a yes guy, but when fear was a thing, and now it's like even worse so, they're like scared to hang out with me. Just kidding. But through that, so I was able to kind of dial in, focus, and through our sessions, make some massive leaps in my life in the last, probably let's call it 3 months for easy words. To change. For example, I'm looking at pivoting my business, something I probably never would have done before. I'm looking at exploring different opportunities of growth within my personality, my sexuality, my desire for future relationships, my desire for my relationship with myself, things that I was often so scared of, but now I'm working into and building into based off our first session. And the doors is opened. I still have not found them all, and I probably never will.
I just got chills. Oh my gosh. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing. So much has happened in such a little time. What what did you try? Because you did talk about talk therapy. What did you try in the past before we started working together to remove the fear that you knew you had that was preventing you from taking that massive action to grow your business? What did you try, before hypnotherapy?
Oh, that's such an interesting question. All right, so that's a little bit challenging because when I was originally going to talk therapy or counseling in that matter, it was because of sexual abuse that I had encountered in the past,
Mm-hmm.
that I had experienced, that had happened to me in the past. And and so with that, that was a big reason I was going to talk therapy, was to deal with the impacts that was having on my life at the time, which was
Mm-hmm.
14 years after the fact that it happened, I was having like like a lot of visions and a lot of
Mhm.
memories start to flash back. Like through, I'd be literally driving, and I'd have one and have to pull over. Like it was quite intense.
Mhm.
Actually, we can talk about that another day.
Yeah.
But through that, so that's where a lot of my talk therapy was focused at. Where when I realized that I had kind of dealt with the now of the impact of that, like yes, it happened, whatever, but it doesn't impact me on my emotions on a daily basis. But where I was feeling the disconnect was like how to not move forward, but like move beyond and be better than the person I was that had recovered
Mhm.
from the talk therapy. Talk therapy did a wonderful job, dealing with my here and now and where I was at in my own personal mental growth, what I was going through. But then I found I still to this day love my psychologist. She's a sweetheart. But I found is I was paying money to go talk to somebody about what I was going through, but I
Mhm.
noticed that I wasn't able to, there was no growth happening. It was almost like I was paying someone to talk about something that I wasn't seeing any sort of change, or like it might, it's like, what do we say? You can talk to a friend about something, it might disappear for an hour, maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe 6 months, but there's a chance it might resonate again in the future. And that's how I was starting to feel with talk therapy. It was like I would go, I would feel really good after our session, I would feel open, I would feel vulnerable, I'd feel ready for growth. But then there was no follow up, in the sense like maybe that opened the door for me to go do something about it, but I didn't know how to go do something about it. I didn't know what to go do about it. Go read a self-help book, probably going to tell you close to the same thing, which
Right.
is true, right? All good things. But I had this disconnect. I didn't know how to go from point A to point B. I dealt with all my shit. But when it was time to grow beyond that and move into this person that I wanted to be, and stop being scared of fear, stop having a bad relationship with money, stop, allowing myself to be insecure about talking to people, to deal with my insecurities, to deal with the things that I was struggling with. I could talk about them, but I didn't know how to overcome them or fix them, or fix them, but like, you know what I mean, talking about that. And so through our sessions, it was like, as you described to me, you were like, it's not like a switch is going to be flipped. It's not like you're going to feel this or feel that. It was like, but you're going to notice if you're encountered with a problem, let's say in the past you might have gone route A, but now after our hypno session, you just notice yourself going maybe B, or maybe C is coming out of nowhere, of things that, I just, it happens so subtly, but so
Mhm.
impactfully. Like I
Mhm.
changed so much to the point where I'm not scared of much of anything. Yes, I still have a crazy fear for snakes, and if anybody who watches this send me snake stuff, I'm going to lose my mind. But um, but through that, I was able to grow and not let those things affect me. And I can't describe to you why it happened. I can't tell you it wasn't like I read this book and my life changed because of this one sentence or
Yeah.
whatever. It was the work that happened on all the layers of my consciousness that was able to allow me to open that door and then not even look back and not even feel a tie to be pulled back.
Right.
And then the
Now,
difference, go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
it's funny. I think I remember you saying, we were just talking before we started recording about a book you wanted to revisit.
Yeah.
And so I know that you've spent a lot of time and energy on personal growth reading. And any entrepreneur who wants to be successful, that has to be a commitment, commit to grow you so you can help grow other people. And I've been doing that for many years. So the things that you tried in the past before hypnotherapy, you've tried the talk therapy, uh, counseling, psychologists, the traditional stuff. You've also been reading a lot of personal growth books, right? And didn't you tell me you do some affirmation work as well? You,
Every single day.
yeah,
Yeah, every single day.
yeah. So, and so you were doing the talk therapy, you were doing the counseling, and you were getting so far, and you were working on yourself, growing you were reading the books, you were doing the affirmations, and I'm pretty sure you told me you were journaling as well. So why do you think that doing all those things didn't get you to overcome and release those fears of taking that massive action and moving forward? Why do you think that they didn't work?
I actually have no idea why they didn't work. I I, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't working properly at the time in the sense, I said, there was this disconnect, and I
Mhm.
know at least through my own psyche that I have a hard time connecting to certain things. I think maybe a lot of people do. I'll use it just a little story. I work a lot with, yes, you do fit my demographic, my niche market of
Yeah.
females, age 35 and older, mostly moms, but you still fit into that demographic in the sense of like, I know my cat's back there. I know your cat's probably somewhere around too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Of like that, but it's like, why do people stress eat? Why do people, emotionally eat? Why do people, self-sabotage? Why do we hate ourselves more than other people? Why do we do that? The reason is we probably don't know why we do that, but we know that we do it. And so in the sense, like, I knew I was doing my affirmations, my journaling, my reading, I would read self-help books. And I think the biggest thing that I've kind of come to realize is I couldn't tell you why I wasn't growing or why I wasn't changing. I could just tell you there was a missing piece and I
Yeah.
couldn't put it together. It was like a key to open that final door. And I just, I kept searching for it in self-help books. I kept searching for it in personal development. I kept searching for it in courses and things like that. Do I hire a new coach? Do I do this? Do I do that? Do I hire a new business mentor? Like, where's my missing piece? And then I thought about it. I looked at all the information that's been provided to me. I was like, no, I was the missing piece. I couldn't connect and I couldn't know why. And as you said, yeah, it comes back to there. So when we're able to open up that subconscious and speak to it and talk to it and ask it to do what I would consider probably tens of years of work in a matter of an hour, maybe a week, maybe two. And
Yeah.
you're like, wait, that didn't bother me anymore. Or I'm not scared of that. Or, wow, you mean I'm making quadruple the money since we started working together?
Yeah.
What? And all because of like a choice to invest in something that, yes, I was nervous. I was a little bit nervous. Like, for example, I spent thousands of dollars on talk therapy,
Mhm.
thousands of dollars on talk therapy. And in one session, my entire life changed just like that.
Oh my God. It
So
was amazing to be there and to be your, hypnotic tour guide to see this through because, I've watched you grow since we started working together. We're still working together. And the interesting thing about why you weren't able to change those habits and beliefs from reading and affirmations and doing the talk therapy, whether it's with a counselor, a friend, or whatever, is because the root cause was not on that superficial layer of consciousness, right? So you didn't really know why you had a fear, why you couldn't take action, why the money mindset, whatever it is, procrastination or whatever it is, the anxiety around this. So, but when you park your conscious mind and access the subconscious mind, and I work with the superconscious, and you know that, and
yeah,
any client who has worked with me knows that I work with the superconscious, which is only for your highest good and benefit. It takes away the charge, right? So things still happen in your life, correct, Carson? But it doesn't have the charge, that positive charge over you. It's more neutral or pushing towards negative. Is that correct?
100%. And the biggest thing I think I can say is just kind of like what I deal with people. And what you're saying is like, is a lot of us have probably experienced an emotional trigger at some point. We all have triggers depending what it is. I'll share one of mine that was like really, really bad. If at any point I had to buy something, I would look at how much it costs and I would be triggered and overcome by anxiety, stressing about, can I afford that? Can I, do I need that? Do I want it? Instead of being like, I work really hard, I make good money, I can afford that. It was like this trigger. It was every time I had to use my debit card, it was like this fear that I like didn't want to do it. And that was something that like arose within me. And I'd be standing there sweating, debating if I tap my card or not. And maybe people have experienced their own triggers, but that was an emotional trigger for me. And now when I'm in Mexico using cash, it's a different story, but like, I don't feel scared to spend money because, and even though, yes, I might have that fear a little bit, but it's way more under control and it doesn't have the weight and the impact that it used to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So for those people that are watching, thinking about what I do, hypnosis, hypnotherapy, you know, how would you describe your experience with me when you came to see me?
Okay. I like that. All right. So depending on the type of person that it may be watching this, is like, are you a bit of a like person who's scared to take risks, scared to take action, that sort of stuff? I'm just going to give you a little bit of insight about me so that people might have an understanding of where my answer is coming from. I can be an impulse person, but I'm also a very logically thought out person in the sense that I make sense of something that I'm going to do before I do it 90% of the time. And so when that happens is, so when our first experience came, it was very calming. You understood, you listened to what I was going on, you listened to what I was going through. You took the time to really respect me and where I was at. And then from like there, you were communicative, you're on point. Your follow-up emails kept me on track with what I was going through. Your communication. I remember I asked you, I said, Dawn, our first little bit of time together, I'm going to need some constant accountability so that I know I'm doing it. I keep people accountable every single day. Do you know how hard it is to keep myself accountable? It's nuts. So I was like, I would like some accountability from you. You're like, Carson, don't worry, I got you. And yeah, what did you every couple of days, Carson, how you doing? As even sometimes every day, if you felt that, you're like, Carson, how you doing? And I was doing and then I got doing my self hypno on my own, because as you said, you're right, you move the mountains, we move the houses, right? So it's the things that we can do by ourselves, but when the heavy hitters come in, you come into play. And so through that, keeping me accountable to do that, because another thing I'll share with is like, but you're talking about talk therapy a little bit. I would have one session, maybe once a month, maybe every 2 months, maybe every 6 months. And it was awesome for the couple of days. But then what, I'm going to go spend another $200 every week at $800 a month?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not. People don't want to spend that kind of money. And if it's not covered in our health benefits, you're self-employed and like me, it's not covered. And so through that is like, you gave the homework to do and then showed me how to do it and took me through it so that it was like, and that I felt confident to do it. You assured me that I was confident and I had that self-confidence to continue to do it on my own. And then when we touched base, I remember our second session, I said, can we go a little bit deeper? Because I think it had been a week or something. I was like, I'm just feeling a little bit anxious. There's some stuff going on in my house. And you spent an extra 5 minutes and you took me and I was like, where am I right now? In the sense of like, I was just so in a state of hypnosis that it was so safe and I felt so good. And to this day, I mean, I've referred a couple of my clients to you that have seen phenomenal changes because of how much I've trusted our work together and the things that it's done for me. And to be honest, I won't speak because we don't, but the client that I know is seeing phenomenal success has grown immensely herself since joining and working with you, because of things that I knew. I mean, I think I'm an okay coach, pretty good coach. When it comes to certain things that I don't know how to deal with, we have to refer out. So we have to have a team that we trust. And so having that experience with you and trusting you, and being able to like refer someone out is huge, because I think we've all had bad experiences in any point in our lives with an interaction, a customer service of some sort, that we just hate that. We're never going to refer them. We're never going to talk about their business or anything like that. And so to have a business or someone like you have such a powerful change to someone like myself, to have such a dramatic and positive enlightenment to where I wanted to go with my life through 4 sessions. Well, realistically it was 1, but then we grew a lot more off our last 3. But with that was able to like realize the life change that I had happen. It was like, if 1, 2, 3 hours can do that for somebody, imagine the other things like that my clients, the people, my friends that I trust, that I've seen the change in me, and like, what happened? Why? Like, I saw you here and now you're here. Why? And I was like, hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
So my experience with you from day 1 till now, let's call it May 1st, because it's funny. It was I think it was April 30th. We talked on the Friday, but May 1 till July 19th, my life has expanded tenfold in the sense that I'm not held back. To guys give you a quick little bit. I had an experience on the weekend. I did just try to post about this, but an experience on the weekend to the point where I've come to terms with accepting my growth. And I've had a ton of ego death since we've been working together, which is so hard for so many people to let go of who they used to be and
Yeah.
moving into the new person they are. But for the first time this weekend, I had the clearest ego death I've ever experienced. That was like, this no longer serves me because I've grown out of that person because of hypnotherapy. I'm growing into this new person that I want to be. And hypnotherapy and the sessions with you and you are the reason that I'm growing so fast in the direction that I want to go and not feeling any resistance or held back. And when I do have resistance, don't get me wrong, it's not pulling back. It's like, okay, are you sure? And then I go, yes. And I'm able to move forward. It's not having that emotional weight or that emotional trigger, that power that we did talk about.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think I did read about that post on the, today. When I had a break, I think I did read that, which was absolutely amazing. And the cool thing is that, Carson, I didn't do this for you, right? You did this on your own. Like, this is the power of your mind. You just didn't know how to access the answers. So I know how to help you access your answers. I didn't put any crazy thoughts in your head. I didn't remove any crazy thoughts out of your head. I didn't make you dance around like a chicken with its head cut off with your shirt off, like I didn't do any of that. I was your tour guide. I showed you where to go, and all your guides and all those, the universe helped you find your way, which is absolutely amazing. So how are you feeling now? You've been in Mexico for 2 months. You left everything. You left all your friends. You even left your most beloved cat for a couple of months. But Bentley is here now, and yeah, in Mexico. You left your best friend. And you literally packed up all your stuff and you're living in Mexico. So how
Yeah.
do you feel now compared to when you were 29?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
4 months ago. Yeah.
wow. Okay. Um, I think we're all traveling through life on a journey. People, some things say they need to reach a destination in our own ways. We have goals. I admire people who have goals. You're working towards something, but those goals, once you accomplish them, often grow into more. And people often say like happiness is this word thrown around that's meant to mean different things to different people. And to say the sense of of being here, I spent some time thinking about this over this weekend. Is like, why do I feel so happy here in Mexico? Well, I
Mhm.
look at a lot of things that I enjoy about being here. It's beautiful every single day, unless it's raining, but even then, it's still 30 degrees outside. It doesn't snow. I think snow is beautiful, but it's not cold. It's the people here are so friendly and so lively and so just down to help. Pardon me, anybody watching this in Alberta, there is still a ton of ego that is very negative. It's very work oriented. It's more money. It's Western culture driven. Me as a person, I'm not a Western culture type person. I like to wake up at 9 a.m. and work when I want and do what I want. I don't want to work 9 to 5s and climb the corporate ladder. I don't care about owning a Lamborghini or a mansion. I care about impacting and changing people's lives. That's what makes me happy. And so, in able to kind of start all of that, we say we have to come from our sense of ourselves. We have to be happy ourselves. When I look at, more importantly, not just those, maybe not material, but those types of things, is where did my happiness really come from? And it was like the sense of growth that actually accomplishing something I set out 2.5 years to do. The growth of moving into this person, the habits, the daily life that I want to live, the type of life that I want to live, the person that I want to be, and sticking to it, all came to light once that guide was given to me. So the happiness, the life, the things that I'm experiencing here in Mexico, I probably could have found in Calgary. But here I'm able to be alone by myself rebuild. If I want to do something by myself, I get to be completely selfish. I don't have extra distractions and things like that. So I was able to really resonate with who Carson was, what he needed from me. I'm talking like I'm both bipolar, what I needed from me, what I needed, and all that sort of stuff. And once I was able to align with that and be clear, and not only be clear and understand it, but move into it, is when I found myself. I found my happiness. I created that, and I was able to live with that and be that person every single day. And now that I'm that person, it's like, where do I go from here? Because I find a lot of people that I associate with or used to associate with are driven from a ton of negativity. And don't get me wrong, I still have my bad days, but a ton of negativity, and their mindset is very unhealthy. It's very unnatural. It's self-sabotaging. It's awful. But once I left that person, and yes, I'm still on a journey moving from that person into this new person, or this evolved, growing up, more mature Carson, the person that I've dreamed about being for my entire life. As I grow into that person, I feel my happiness to be true and pure and like energetic, and my energy is a next level that I've never felt before, all simply because I made choices that allowed me to become that person. I had to make a lot of sacrifices to become this person, but with each one of those, there was ego death, there was the ability to move on, and there was the power to change my own life, to know that I have that power to change somebody else's and continue to be a guide for those that want it.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And it's so true. You've always had this true, authentic self. It's just what's hidden with trauma and drama, all these experiences that we all have experienced during our whole lives. And we need to do that. Everybody knows what spring cleaning is. You need to clean out your mind, just like you're a personal trainer. You can't do something for 2 months, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, and expect that your life will could be completely changed, right? You have to keep building on those habits, and I'm sure you do that with your clients. I've had a few personal trainers in my life, and you're always building on those habits and making improvements and noticing where your weaknesses are, and we're always evolving. So when you look at your life now, what are you most looking forward to?
Wow. That's a very long answer. But honestly, what I'm most excited for is like the lesson that was taught to me this past weekend, and kind of being here, and the pivot in my business, and most importantly, the pivot in my personality and my growth. Because the way I can sit here and talk now is somebody I dreamed about being for 15 years. And we all say we want our dreams to come true. Well, then we make them a goal, and is that going to actually happen, right? And so it's like to sit here and be like, yeah, there's no end destination, I'm constantly growing, but to kind of feel like I reached a milestone of, I wanted to be here, and I worked to be here, and I put that effort in. So look at like what's next, and it's, what I'm looking forward to. I think I'm most looking forward to is just like living with this energy for as long as possible. Because if I can feel this good every single day, or 99% of the days of my life, it's pretty fucking awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what would you say to those people out there who are putting off fixing their problems and frustrations in their life?
You want to ask me that question? We try to write content about this every single day. I try to motivate people to get in shape and lose weight and do all of that. But the biggest thing I can honestly say to anybody who's hesitant, anybody who's kind of scared, anybody who's just unsure, is like, in each individual, we're going to have different boundaries. But if what you're doing now doesn't serve the person that you want to be, or the goals that you might have, is you need to take some sort of action to whatever that may be. And if you don't know how to get there, search for the correct professional.
Yeah.
If it's a personal trainer because you want to lose weight, if it's a business mentor because you want to grow a business. If it's I'm trying to think of what else other people do in this world. I'm just staying too close-minded for a second, right? If it's a spiritual leader, if you want to go to church, you want to be more religious, whatever it may be that a person may choose to do. I'll touch real quick. I'm in Playa del Carmen. There's a ton of digital nomads. The amount of people that I've met that just do crazy things that I've never heard of because they found a niche that people are into is where you should look, is to those sort of things. But and even if it's someone like Dawn, so to guide you, I did years of talk therapy, got really good results. I'm not going to lie. But what I've been able to do in the last 3 months would probably take 30 years in talk therapy and billions of dollars by the sounds of it. So with that, so it's like, if you're scared, if you're unsure, if you don't quite know, find what it is you need to do and hire somebody. The biggest thing that people tell me is they wish they hired me sooner because they thought they could do it on their own. And trust me, I have a freaking huge ego. I thought I could do so much of this stuff on my own. I don't need this. I don't need to pay this money. And yeah, don't get me wrong. Professional services are expensive for a reason. Just going to say that because I charge a lot of money. I believe I charge what I'm worth. I shouldn't say a lot of money. And I believe you charge what you're worth, as you should, right? And so, yeah, that dollar figure might be much, but I'll tell you this much. I quadrupled my income since working with Dawn in 3 months.
Oh my God.
In 3 months. And I was scared to spend the money to take this, but it was a birthday present to myself, and here we are. I was scared to come to Mexico, right? But I invested in Dawn, in myself. Realistically, I might have spent the money, but the investment was back on me, and it changed everything. So if you're scared, put your big boy panties on and make the choice, because my promise is, if it's something you really want, if it's where you actually want to go, your ego and your fears kind of holding you back, because I've been there. The leap is scary, the jump is scary, but once you take it, even the journey is terrifying. Tell me about it. But once you eventually kind of grow, develop, experience what it is, the person that you want to be, it's unbelievable how good you're going to feel. And most importantly, how accomplished and proud you're going to feel. And then therefore the door is just fucking being opened. Who knows where you're going to go after that. But if you have mental issues, emotional trauma, messed up as I thought I once was in this world, professionals like Dawn help guide you directly into the person that you want to be in a way that is not terrifying, that's not scary, and is safe and comfortable, and in my opinion, cost effective. So yeah.
The cool thing is too, that a lot of people don't realize is, if you run a business like yourself, my services are tax deductible. It is an investment in your business for your growth. And so what I heard you say is your business tripled its income since we worked together, quadrupled its income. So was that worth your investment, right? You're investing in your business, right? And that is a write-off to we live in Canada, well, I live in Canada, to the Canadian government, because you're bettering yourself in order to grow your business to help more people, which is absolutely, so we help people on so many different levels. So that is amazing. So what do you think, Carson, was the most important thing for you in achieving success with your sessions with me? What was the one most important thing for you in the achieving of the success working with me? I know it can be a tough question.
Are you asking me what was the most achievable?
Yeah, what was the most important thing to you that allowed you to reach the succce you did in the session?
Okay. No resistance. I couldn't resist anything. I have never been I have been hypnotized now, and then you said we've all been hypnotized in our own way. But my only experience with hypnotism was, I think I was in elementary school, and a hypno guy or magician or whatever came to our school, and the kids were like holding up chairs, they were dancing around, they're doing some pretty funny stuff. Yeah. Right? Pure entertainment, great. And that was my only like relatable experience with hypnosis. So I was very unsure what the experience was going to be like. And I'll share this real quick. I've done my fair share of narcotics in this world. I'm not ashamed to admit that. And everybody's asked me, it's like, what's this like? I've asked people, what's this like? What's this like? What's this like? And their only thing is like, you have to experience it. Because if we set expectations, it's so upsetting in movies. We don't get it, or we think we're going one way when we should be going the other way. We have that expectation. So when it came to like the most important thing that I had to do is I had to let go, and I had to just experience whatever it was happening to me in our sessions and even in my self hypnosis, because I have some conscious control, but as soon as I let go, I was able to go deeper, and I noticed more work was done. So if you can let go of that resistance, let go of that control, and just kind of flow, it's a way better time than trying to fight it, I guess.
Yeah, and know that you're safe and you're not going to be in any harm's way. And the most important thing when we're working together and working with other clients is you have to have focus and trust the process. And you did absolutely fantastic, is because you had both of those. And I specifically remember the last session that we did together, and it was so profound for myself to watch you go through that transformation. I'm not going to explain that here now. That's a very personal thing, but I can't even tell you how I felt after that session working with you and seeing you evolve like that. And I'm pretty sure you noticed some really big things happen after that, during that work together, as well as things are still happening, right? So I wanted to just say thank you. I'm looking forward to, we have a few more sessions we're going to work together with Carson, and that's the thing. Like, once you start diving into that, we work on the big stuff first, and then the other stuff we start noticing other things we're ready to release, we're ready to let go of, we're ready to unpack that backpack even more, and that's a cool thing. And you do your own work on your own, I know, which is brilliant, and that's why you're moving so quickly, which is awesome. So I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me and to share your experience, and just for maybe somebody will relate to your story. And we only have so many heartbeats, and it's
Yeah.
my goal, and I know it's your goal. We're both in the helping professions, to help people become the best version. Almost fell over, I'm standing on one foot. Best version of themselves as quickly as possible. And like you and like me, it doesn't have to take months and years and decades in order to do that. When you work with the right professionals who are in it for the right reasons, and we do our jobs as fast as we can, because we don't want to waste anybody's time.
Exactly.
Like yesterday, so I'm so excited. Any last words, Carson?
Just do it, as Nike would say. Don't be scared. It'll be the best thing you ever did. That's all I gotta say.
Let's do it. And if you're looking for an amazing personal trainer, Carson runs a business all online from Paleo.Carmen. And if you want to get in touch with him, you can reach out to him. I will share his contact information, his social links when I post this video, and you can reach out to him and see if you guys are fit to work together. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't just work with mid
No, males too.
women moms, because he's awesome and he knows how to get results. Women just love him, as you can tell, right? It's just so easy.
Oh, thank
So,
you. Thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate that.
you're so welcome, Carson. So until next time, we're going to talk later. Get your next session all booked up, and
Yeah.
we will talk to you soon.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone, and thanks for
Bye.
now.